commercial, and Strowman's still holding him there, which means, one, he really wasn't holding him there that long. I mean, if he was, he would have been probably blacked out by then. But, and of course, was the confrontation with Stephanie McMahon, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch. Now, for those following along, Ronda Rousey is the Raw Women's Champion, and last week during Raw, Becky Lynch, who was suspended in storyline, came out and attacked, Natalya, and then her and Rousey got into it, and Rousey demanded that Stephanie reinstate Becky Lynch, and they went back and forth and then finally Ronda laid the title down, seemingly like to, just vacate it. And so tonight was supposed to be a match, pitting Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair at Fastlane for the seemingly vacant Raw Women's title. But Becky Lynch, had to sign a hold harmless agreement to, not sue the company if anything happened to her. And then we see Ronda Rousey storm into the arena, and in a complete swerve, we had ourselves a Ronda Rousey heel turn tonight. She said she did everything she could to respect the business. Ronda Rousey poured her heart and soul into this, and how does she get paid? They boo her out of the Staples Center, her home. She's not the dancing monkey anymore. She could break Flair and Lynch's nose if she sneezes in their direction. Damn your fantasies, damn the man, screw the woo, and no more Mrs. Nice Bitch. And so Rousey just went ballistic on Becky Lynch, punching her in the body and then kidneys a few times, puts the armbar on her, and then Rousey, shouting at the crowd. So we go back to the backstage area, and Charlie Caruso, the interviewer, is interviewing Stephanie McMahon, and Stephanie McMahon kind of let it slip that we are having a triple threat match at WrestleMania, but but we'll see how Fastlane goes. So that is the Raw recap. And since I didn't do a show yesterday, I'm just going to do, a weekend review. A scary incident in White Plains at a Smackdown live show. Asuka, who we haven't seen on TV for quite some time, was in a match with Mandy Rose, and they did a spot. Mandy Rose dropped Asuka on her head and neck, and it was a legit neck injury, and they had to stop the match. But, thankfully Asuka could continue, walk out on her own power. So we'll see how that plays out. All Elite Wrestling earlier today announced that they have confirmed via their Being the Elite YouTube series that there is a live event for Jacksonville set. I haven't watched the episode yet, but once I do, I'll let you know. And All Elite Wrestling has made news today for something completely different. One of their performers they signed, Jungle Boy. The guy by the name of Jungle Boy. His name actually was his real name, believe it or not, is Jack Perry. Now, if the last name sounds familiar, his father is Luke Perry. And sadly, Luke Perry suffered a stroke a few days ago. And unfortunately, Luke Perry passed away this morning at the age of 52. But All Elite would be smart not to exploit this like WWE has been known to do in the past, with Eddie Guerrero and Owen Hart and, Reed Flair and, anybody else that has died in recent memory and they've been exploited. So All Elite Wrestling would be smart to not, they would be smart not to exploit it, but Jack Perry, better known as Jungle Boy Nate Coy, signed with All Elite Wrestling. His father, Luke Perry, passed away this morning at the age of 52. Other big, other notable news. Moose from Impact Wrestling has signed a new contract with Impact. So I don't see him going very far in Impact because Impact is, ever since they went to a new network, I mean, they've gone to how many networks now in their existence? I can count at least 4 since they came into existence. But they're slowly dying a slow, painful death. I mean, there's not one original talent in that company now, with Abyss leaving and becoming a road agent for the WWE. So I give them another 2-3 years before they pull the plug on it. And it's sad because Jeff Jarrett started that company, and I think Jeff Jarrett's better off now. Some scary news was revealed yesterday that Harley Race, the 8-time NWA's World Heavyweight Champion, was diagnosed with lung cancer. At a Q&A that Ric Flair was at with Hulk Hogan, Flair said it was terminal, but we are now told that it is not terminal, but he is being treated. So, wish nothing but a speedy recovery to one of the all-time greats. I mean, one of the toughest men probably in professional wrestling, in Harley Race. Jim Cornette. And if you know who Jim Cornette is, he can be loud, obnoxious, outspoken. If you ever want to, I think if it's on YouTube, but if you want to see him versus a drive-through, Jim Cornette versus the drive-through video that I think Chris Jericho shot back in 1994. I think it's been posted on YouTube, and it's just entertaining. I mean, just to hear Cornette lose his mind at this poor drive-through employee. But he made his Major League Wrestling debut this past Saturday on commentary. And he's now an agent with MLW. And MLW is on beIN Sports TV, but they also broadcast their shows the next Saturday or the following Saturday on YouTube for free. So it's, if Cornette can help that company, that's great. I mean, but just having a Jim Cornette in your company is just pure gold. I mean, the stories he can tell and the things he knows and his deep-rooted hatred of Vince Russo. If you ever get a chance to watch him on YouTube, just please do yourselves a favor and go do that. I mean, the man is just a genius when it comes to the world of wrestling. That's about all I've got for you tonight. Um, like I said, I apologize for not doing an episode yesterday. I just kind of got a late start, and um, but so far the big news tonight was the Shield returning. They're saying that this is going to be the last hurrah for the Shield. Um, with excuse me, and Ronda Rousey's heel turn. So, pardon me again. Jeez. So, Fastlane's going to be fairly interesting. So far, we have, we've got the Shield versus Corbin, Lashley, McIntyre. We have Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. If Becky wins, she is in the Raw Women's title match at WrestleMania. And of course, we have the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos, defending against the former champions, The Miz and Shane McMahon. It should be noted that this is taking place in Miz's hometown of Cleveland, so read into it what you will. Last week on SmackDown, it was supposed to be a contract signing with the new Daniel Bryan defending his title at Fastlane against Kofi Kingston until Vince McMahon came out. And that's one thing I didn't mention to you guys was SmackDown last week. Some big news there. Vince McMahon came out, said he had a better, more, qualified opponent for Daniel Bryan, and it was the returning Kevin Owens. So it'll be Owens versus Daniel Bryan at Fastlane for the WWE Championship. Makes me wonder what they're going to do with Kofi now, because Kofi Kingston's been with the company, since 2006. So that's counting developmental, from Deep South and from Ohio Valley. His time in the WWECW. He's been the U.S. champ. He's been the tag champ. He's been an intercontinental champ. He's never had an opportunity for, he has had an opportunity for the world, for a world title. He's been in Elimination Chamber matches, so right now they've got Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens. Of course, we've got the Boston Hug Connection versus Nia Jackson, Tamina for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. We have Asuka defending the SmackDown Women's title against Mandy Rose. The Shield, of course, take on Baron Corbin, McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. And Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. If Lynch wins, she gets added to the Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. And another return that happened this past Tuesday night was Matt Hardy. And he reformed the Hardy Boys tag team with his brother Jeff. No longer the Woken Warrior or Broken Brilliance. But he says he can control it now, so we shall see how that goes. But there's still no sign of Bray Wyatt. So I wonder where Bray Wyatt is. So that is your Fastlane card, unless something changes between now and tomorrow. We got 6 matches so far. Nothing's set for the pre-show yet. We probably won't know that until Wednesday. or Thursday.